The overall FY12 budget discretionary budget request for the VA totals $58.8 billion, $1.8 billion over last year's request. Additionally, the submission also includes an FY13 medical care request of $52.5 billion. Mr. Secretary, I would note that outside of the increase for medical care in the FY12 budget submission, the department's request for all other functions is down, a combined $859 million from last year's request. I understand and appreciate that as budgets get tighter, departments are being asked to do more with less. But I want to make sure that these cuts won't erode services or diminish the quality of care the vets receive. In particular, I'm concerned about the 25% reduction in the request for the construction and facilities accounts and the impact this may have on the adequacy of VA medical facilities and health care deliveries in future years. VA has a $9 billion backlog in repairs and improvements to its existing buildings, and I am concerned that this budget does not adequately address that requirement. Before I turn to my ranking member, I want to point out that the VA is estimating that the average wait time for disability claims will reach 230 days in FY12. This is totally unacceptable. This subcommittee has provided the VA with significant resources over the past several years, including an additional $460 million in the current CR for FY11, which the department said was needed to reduce the wait time and backlog. Yet the problem is getting worse, not better. I understand that the decision on Agent Orange claims and the complexity of new claims have added to the problem, but the VA needs to come up with a comprehensive plan to solve this problem sooner rather than later. I will have specific questions on these and other topics after your testimony. Mr. Secretary, as you and I have discussed many times, the time it takes the VA to process a claim is a recurrent complaint I've received from vets in South Dakota. This committee has provided the VA every dime it has asked for, and then some, to try and help you get a handle on the problem. Yet the wait time is projected to get even worse in FY12. We have seen VHA make significant strides the past several years in shrinking the number of days vets have to wait to see a doctor. Yet on the benefits side, delays keep growing. My first question is a very basic question. What is it about this process that makes processing claims in a timely fashion so difficult, and what is the comprehensive plan forward?
Mr. Chairman, just a little bit of history. When I arrived in 2009, for the first time, our Veterans Benefits Administration, the people who do the claims processing, good folks who come to work every day to try to do the right thing here, for the first time ever, they produced 977,000 claims decisions going out the door. And at the same time, there are 1 million claims arriving. And the following year, 2010, we put 1 million claims decisions out the door and received in 1.2 million claims. And we estimate this year we are likely to receive 1.4 to 1.5 million claims. To address this growth in the past, with great support from Congress, our solutions have been to hire more people. And so to address the growth, we've hired more people. Well, right now we have 14,000 people processing claims. And just looking at our most recent history, I can tell that hiring more people will give us an incremental improvement in production, but it won't get us to where we're knocking this backlog down. So we have to do something different. And the issue here is automation. And we have invested heavily in automation tools. The key one is being piloted today in Providence. It's the VBMS I talked about. We anticipate in 2012, VBMS is going to provide us with a tool that we can distribute nationwide and begin to go after the backlog. That's sort of where we are in this process. IT is sort of the elephant in our house, and we have to get this done. And so this year, in 2011, we provided an unprecedented increase for the folks in the Benefits Administration. We plussed them up by 27%. So that's where a lot of the money that you have seen affiliated with the increase here in IT. We await an outcome on the 2011 decisions here, and hopefully the increase for tools in VBA will be sustained so we can deliver this tool. That's sort of where we are, and our plan is, as soon as these tools are available, to begin knocking down the backlog. I came in 2009 with the intent of going to work on the backlog as the first priority. When I arrived, we had a brand new program called the New GI Bill. And all of my efforts had to go into getting the New GI Bill up and running so that January '09, August '09, we had youngsters in classes going to school. It's a wonderful program. It's just that we had no tools at that time, no automation tools. Everything had to be done by hand. By December of that year, our efforts paid off. We had kids in school, 173,000 of them in school, put there again by working with about 6,500 different educational institutions. And in the meantime, we built the automation tools that were going to change the environment for us. And today we have, in this program alone, about 423,000 youngsters in school, all the processes for the most part automated. It's because of what we went through here, this sort of dark night of the soul with the new GI Bill from, full stop to up and running automation-wise, that I'm confident that the investments we are making in VBMS are the right tools, and the payoff will be equally significant.
Secretary Shinseki, it remains important to me that we meet the unique needs of our Indian vets. The Wagner-CBOC was a groundbreaking partnership between the VA and IHS and was long overdue. Mr. Secretary, now that the facility has been open for almost a year, how has cooperation between these two agencies been going, and does the VA plan on duplicating these efforts at other locations?
Mr. Chairman, the real hero here is Dr. Petzl, so I'm going to let him provide the details.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Senator Johnson, as you know, I'm very familiar with the clinic in Wagner. It started a long time ago when I was a network director in Minneapolis, and you and I shared the podium when we did the groundbreaking. Yeah. That place, and it was a precedent-setting effort. It is a VA owned and operated clinic that sits on reservation land right almost in the middle of the city of Wagner, and it's used by both American Indians and non-Indian veterans. It's an example that we would like to transmit to other parts of the country. There have been a few others now, and we do have a number of clinics that are located proximate to reservations, but really not very many of them that are on. So it's been a good example. It's operating. We're seeing 370 patients enrolled. We think it's something that could be done in other parts of the country. The difficulty, just the big lesson learned there, was the fact that it was very difficult to get the tribe, the Indian Health Service, the VA, and the local community all together on the same page deciding what to do. It took us actually 10 years to develop that. With the new MOU between the VA and the Indian Health Service, I'm hoping that we can truncate that process and accomplish getting more of these clinics built in a much, much shorter period of time.